touching the sky. What's holding you back? You gotta fly like an eagle and go high. What's holding you back? Holding you back from touching the sky. Oh, holding you back. You finally gotta reach for the sky. I was born at 16, not to be a spoke in the wheel. Told myself there's more to this than just waking up when I feel. So I made a commitment to turn my earnings up. Couldn't see myself as an employee that still couldn't. Looked in the mirror, saw a spark in my eye. Knew I had to hustle and stop living a lie. I packed my dreams in a suitcase, took the first train. I'm headed for the horizon with success is no doubt.
Greetings and welcome to another edition of What's Holding You Back. My name is Rob McCray from the Business Building Network.
And I'm Christine Allen from Clear Ambitions Mentors.
Yes, and we are so excited for the program that's going to be coming before you this afternoon, this evening, this morning, depending where in the world you are watching us from. Family, we have a wonderful broadcast in store for you this afternoon as we have our very special guest coming back for another edition here, and she is none other than Dr. Tahira Lee. And if you missed that first interview that we had with her, you want to make sure that you go back and watch that. But we've brought her back on for an encore performance, and we will be bringing her on in just a few minutes. But before we do that, we just want to welcome you to What's Holding You Back and have a brief recap of what transpired last week as we had another wonderful session, as we had a couple of our previous guests come on board. Right,
Yeah,
Christine?
it was a great panel discussion on customer service and what does that look like and what's lacking and what are we doing right. So what's holding you back as a business to grow? Folks that you put behind the register, folks that you put on the floor of your business in the forefront of your restaurant just might be holding you back. So it was great. It was a great panel discussion, had some great examples, and we just want to move forward with you time. It's just a little under an hour that we'll be spending here on What's Holding You Back each and every Wednesday. So take this opportunity to like and share, invite some people in on the conversation live. It's going to be an awesome one, we promise you.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you so much. And greetings as I see a couple of our guests putting in some comments. So if you are joining us, please type in the chat where you are joining us from. We would love to greet you and welcome you to the broadcast. We have my brother Todd Hatchett from Godware Inspirational Communications. They have their clothing line. And we also have my very own Pastor Fred Pinup. God bless you, sirs, and thank you so much for joining us. And like I said previously, please leave us a comment. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We would acknowledge you and welcome you to the broadcast. So as we always like to do when we start off our broadcast, we like to ensure that you know what these broadcasts are all about. What are the intentions of us coming before you every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time? And our focus and our objective is to make sure that you are encouraged, you are inspired, you are enlightened so that you can be the best possible version of yourself. And for those of you that aspire to have a business for yourselves, we're going to be sharing some tips and strategies that you can use and implement into your business as well. So just sit back, relax, enjoy the discussion, and let's be very interactive, because the best way or the best results that you're going to get is when we have that dialogue, that communication with one another. So feel free to put in the comments, make some, give us your feedback, and be a part of the discussion this afternoon. Sister Jody said, blessings, good day, and thank you so much for joining us. Yes, so Christine, shall we get into our word of inspiration for today?
Let's go.
All right. And Pastor Fred checking in from Irvington, New Jersey. Yes, the best state in America. Pastor, I second that every time. Yes, sir. All right. So here is our word of inspiration. Christine, if you will.
Your self worth is determined by you. You
Mm,
don't need validation from anyone to prove your value.
is that right?
Mm. Once more,
Okay.
your
Come on.
self worth is determined by you. So, what does that mean? There's a saying that says no one can insult you unless you allow it.
Ooh, I like that. I
Unless
like
you allow it. So, your self worth is determined by you. Everyone has an internal thermometer,
mm,
and there's different reasons why that goes up or down. Uh, but nevertheless, it is an internal. You call it internal affairs. It's an internal job. Their self-worth, it's determined by you. It
good
comes
one.
from inside.
Yeah,
Today's discussion is going to take a deep dive into that, and we're going to have a sobering thought of you time, of me time, because if you have a low self-worth
hmm,
image and so forth, it's just going to cascade into everything else that you do, and that includes your business, or what's holding you back could be just the conversation ahead.
absolutely. Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that, Christine. Yes. So not knowing your self-worth or your self-value will
Mhm.
impact you in every phase or aspect of your life. So it is very important that you not look for outside validation for someone else to tell you what your true worth is. No, that's going to come from you. You have to encourage your own self. You have to empower yourself by giving yourself those words of encouragement and just stating those things that are going to uplift you and inspire you to be the greatest version of yourself, because
That's
that potential is locked deep within yourself, but you have to release it and express it and share those words, make those declarations over your life that you shall
right.
achieve anything in which you put your heart and your desire to, and it shall manifest itself. But it all starts with your inner belief and that belief within yourself. Don't look for the outside validation, because that's going to come and go like the wind blows, right? So if
Okay,
if a person is feeling some type of way about you, then they might not speak those positive words over your life.
that's
But
right.
if they're speaking negatively, are you going to accept that? No, you rebuke that. You only allow those
Mhm.
positive words to dwell within your spirit to encourage and uplift you. Don't take on those negative undertones that are only going to bring you down. So that's why it's very important that you are always able to encourage yourself, uplift yourself, and let yourself know that I am who I am. And I know that I am a true child of God, and God will never forget nor forsake me.
Wow, we have the bell has rung on this broadcast for you time.
Yeah.
Never will you be alone when you have God on your side. We're going to go right into today's discussion without any further ado and bring our guests in, Dr. Lee.
All right, let's bring her in, the woman of the hour. And before we do that, we see King Shakir. He says, start the day with positive self affirmations. Yes, very good, my brother. Well stated. Well stated. So, yes, with that being stated, let us bring on our guest for this evening. And she is none other than Dr. Tahira Lee. God bless you, my sis. How are you?
Oh, blessings to you too as well. You guys look amazing. I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Love
Oh,
that.
happy to have you back. Absolutely.
Yes. All right, so Dr. Lee, we brought you on specifically for this discussion here this afternoon as we're talking about knowing your self-worth and your own true value. So, if for those of you that do not know, Dr. Lee, if you could tell us a little bit about yourself and the organization in which you represent.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm the CEO and co-founder of Hope Enterprises. And we have a three-pillar approach. So we're all things community, youth, and affordable housing. Right now, we are really running with the light and focusing on the youth, which is why this conversation is so important now more than ever. Through our charter school, our remote charter school for 7 to 17-year-olds, that is part of our foundational curriculum. Teaching them, who are you? What's your worth? What's your connection to people, to purpose, to the planet? So it's it's just on time. This broadcast is on
Yeah.
time. And then affordable housing, if we have access to, because sometimes when your housing compromised, right? Or if you're financially compromised, some of that self-worth and that worthiness, that confidence goes down. So that's how we kind of fill in the gap to help provide these resources so they can build the confidence and know that, hey, not only are you worthy, you're worth it, and you were born this way. It's your birthright, you know.
Wow.
Oh,
Mhm.
wow. That's
Love that.
powerful.
Mm.
Yes, yes, yes. So, Dr.
Worthy.
Lee, let me ask you. Sorry, Christine, go ahead.
No, I was saying that's powerful. Worthy and worth it.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So, in saying that, Dr. Lee, now we understand that you have your school program that you guys have just started, correct?
Yes, the school year started on January 3rd.
Okay.
Don't tell me where January 3rd through the 28th went because it just
Right. Yeah.
before you know it, we're going to be saying happy 2026 again. I don't
Yes,
know what's going on with the time,
yes. Time
but
is
yes.
flying at a rapid pace. But yes, I know and understand through some of your general teachings and your words of encouragement that you have made it a priority to make sure you are instilling those good qualities in our kids. So, what are some of the things that you try to instill into them and making them realize what their true self-worth and value is in this world?
Oh man. So I believe the young man, King Shakir, said it hit the nail on the head with a hammer.
Hmm.
Daily affirmations, right? So they start out their day with affirmations. So they have this cool, it's a remote school, so it's digital learning. So what's great is when they start their lessons, their their lovely little avatar, their AI avatar that they've customized to kind of look or maybe mimic them. It says,
Mhm.
good morning, Rob. Good morning, Christine. Today's going to be a great day. You're amazing. You're beautiful. You know, those things. So that's the first things that they hear.
Okay.
Those, because you have to speak life
Yes.
into yourself, into your children, into your community on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
Start the day, start the tone with that, you know. Some things we say is you are loved just as you are,
Mm.
right? Because they're facing so much that you know, I was born in the 1900s. So some of the things that these kids are facing, I didn't have to face, like the pressures of social media. You know, a little bit of pressure when it comes to, oh, what shoes you wearing, what, what's your outfit, whatever. But today,
Mm.
like, I have never seen so many kids online talk about, oh, you don't have these Balenciagas. I'm like, I don't have Balenciagas. Where are you guys getting these funds from?
Mm.
So it's pressure that they're facing that we didn't have to face. Um, the other thing that we encourage through with and you our good friend Deb the counselor, who is
Mhm.
a partner in hope with us, our parents are involved with her free parental support group. And through that support group, teaching and advocating parents on not just to relax and focus on self-care, but to pour into the children, to focus on, what you say and how you say things,
Mhm.
part of the teaching, because this is a generational movement. It's not just for the kids, it's not for just the middle age, not just for the seniors,
Mhm.
because we have to come together to learn, love, and grow with one another. So there's always a capacity to learn, but let leading by example, when your child sees the love and the care that you're putting into yourself and you're putting self-care as a priority,
Mhm.
then they learn how to do that right? They mimic your behaviors.
That's true.
So that's the other thing that we encourage, be leaders of this self-worth movement. Speak life into yourself. Don't, have your child or, a younger member of the community witnessing you having negative self-talk, you getting down on yourself. Because they're going to think, okay, well, Dr. Tahira, Minister Allen, Mr. So I can talk badly about myself too, you know? So we
Mhm.
have to lead them by example. We have to
Okay.
lead by example.
So, Dr. Lee, let me ask you: do you think the peer pressure that the kids face now is more intense than what it was for us growing up?
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely. The studies say that, the numbers say that.
Hmm.
Uh, I would not have made it with social media, okay, if I was coming up. All these
Yeah,
pressures.
everybody
'Cause listen,
blasting your business out there.
listen, I had to
It's
grow into, I obtained more attractiveness after I started having kids and things of that nature. you know,
Hmm.
I would have that awkward stage where the nose is really out there, and
Hmm.
it was just a hot mess at times. But it's still then my mother would tell us like, "Oh, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous the way that you are." Um, but yeah, it's tricky. There's kids as young as 9 years old undergoing the knife
Mm.
because they want to look like the filter. And of course, this is a different
wow.
demographic, the affluent, they have access and things. But I don't care. I can have $1 billion. If my child, and I have 6 children, if
Mhm.
one of them was to tell me, well, I want to go have a nose job because I want to look like my filter, I can't say what I'm going to say here.
Woo! Wow. Wow.
I'm like, are you crazy? Yeah, absolutely not. But that's why we have to do our part as parents and as community leaders to have them embrace their uniqueness.
Hmm.
We're all unique. We're all beautiful. Beautiful beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but it comes from within, right?
That's right.
When you're confident and you're strong, you know your worth, then you don't need somebody to tell you, the validation. That need for external validation is a dream stiller. It's a joy killer. And no, we want them to have more joy and peace. So the more they hear it, it's gonna seep in. Just gotta plant the seeds.
So let me
So
ask you. Go ahead, Christine.
I was just going to ask, and just on the heels of you mentioned about the wellness piece with the youth and the pressure. So there is a mental health crisis amongst youth in
Mhm.
North America. Do you find it the same? Because I know you've traveled the world. Do you find it the same in other cultures?
Not as much as it is in the United States, and the data supports that, but
Okay.
it is a global issue. It is a global issue. And it seems to one of the factors, unfortunately, is social media, right? Social media is accessible all over the world. And it's something that, there are leaders that are stepping up, like one of our additional partners in Hope, Jonathan Bertrand, with the Social Media Research Institute. He has the first patent that's going combating and installing legislation for use. So when you saw those lawsuits that were coming out about the impact and negative, that group, that institute, that research firm led by Dr. Jonathan Bertrand got that started.
Mhm.
He has the patent for that. So they're doing an incredible works. And these are young leaders in this group. I'm talking about they're all under 40 pretty much. But they have been directly impacted and see the effects more so than maybe, the elder generations because they didn't have it. So they don't understand it. So definitely shout out to him and his group by
Absolutely.
doing all that they can to protect our children. They're so vulnerable.
Yes.
It's
Wow.
it, it definitely is a crisis and so meaningful the work that you're doing. Tell us how you got started and why.
So it's ironic because I was the child, 1 out of 7, that was just determined that, I'm not, I saw my mom struggle with having children, and not being educated and having to really fight to just live and survive. And I just did not want to do that. I didn't want to have to fight and have to go through all the things. So, and about middle school, I decided that I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to take over the world. I'm not going to have any children because they eat up all your money. Because my mother used to say that you guys just eat all my money. Yeah, and we did. It, even back then, it was a lot to raise that a family of that size.
Oh yeah.
But as God would have it, he was like, nope, your plan is not my plan. I'm going
Mhm.
to give you all these kids. I try to do all various forms of birth control, Minister Allen, pill, patch, stepo shot, tubes tied. Yeah, I was like, nope, absolutely not. Take all six of these children. And I was like, man, okay. So I
Yeah.
have all these children. They're young, they're back to back. I'm in this small apartment with my husband. We got to get them outside. So I've always been like this strategic business mind. So like, we're going to organize a movement. We're going to have a group. And that first nonprofit was called the Your Backyard Foundation.
Okay.
And literally, we would get the kids together, take them in the parking lot, and then other kids would start coming. Like, what are you guys doing over there? You guys got snacks? You guys are doing fun things, laughing and things. And then it just grew until one day a pastor that was giving out free bread and free things saw all the kids out there and just pulled us to the side and was like, what are you guys doing out here? We told him, and he invited us to use his space at a church. The school wasn't being used, but within a matter of months, we had more kids coming to the school for the before and after school in the Sunday program than
Mhm.
he had adults attending the church. So
Wow.
that's when the idea and the download came like this. We've got to do this on a larger scale. You've got to really, because we were teaching Bible based principles for leadership skills and social emotional intelligence, which is the foundational curriculum at our school. But now we've added the five core concentrations in business, real estate, arts, tech, and science. And we have some mentees that they're already earning six figures and they're not even 21 yet.
Wow.
Wow.
Because proof, if you have the right tools and the
Mhm.
right support and you teach kids their worth, they're unstoppable.
Absolutely.
They're unstoppable. They have no fear. Like they have no bills, first of all. So they so they can take the leap, right? They don't have things holding them back. So we're starting at the root, right? The kids, the community, unlearning, relearning, challenging old belief systems and limiting mindsets. To
Mhm.
say, open up your mind and see, just take a chance, what do you have to lose? But hey, what do you have to gain?
That's right.
Right?
That
What did you gain?
yeah.
Wow. Love that. Well, kudos to you, doctor. You have your doctorate with six children, a mom, a wife. That's
Mhm.
awesome.
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes. On my
And
second marriage, I had shared in the previous broadcast that this is a topic that's near and dear to my heart because I was a young mom, a teen mom, and that first marriage that I had, I did not know my worth.
mhm.
I endured, physical, emotional, financial abuse because I didn't know that I was worthy, which is why it's so important for the social responsibility aspect for our school. We're teaching them how do you know if you encounter a narcissist? What are the signs so that they don't come prey and fall traps? Because it's important not just for our young girls, but our young men too, to say that they identify with it, they can turn it around. They still have time to turn those behaviors around, right? So, how you relate in relationships, how you relate to yourself, which is a big, huge part of self worth. So, just imagine if I was taught these things, my life would probably look a lot different, but God had me go through these things so that I could be a testimony and testify and be a part of the solution
All
Yes.
instead
right.
of just complain about the problem.
All right.
Absolutely. Love it,
100%.
Dr. Lee. Love it. And as you can see there on the bottom of the screen, that is her website address, morehopenow.com. So please go on over to Dr. Lee's website and be a part of the solution. So, Dr. Lee, when was it that you realized how important it is that we share these positive words, these words of encouragement, and letting our kids and young adults as well their true meaning of their self-worth and their self-value.
I'm so sorry. My dog, my little Shih Tzu is trying to get into the podcast. I said that's next time. You'll be a guest next time. So I apologize for that. So if you could do me a favor and just repeat that question really quick. I'm so sorry.
No worries. So when did you realize the importance of instilling these words into our youth? How vital it was to their upbringing in being raised in a manner that they can reach their full potential by understanding their true self-worth and their self-value.
Oh, absolutely. I would say during that initial groundwork with the Your Backyard Foundation,
Mhm.
because lots of kids would come and join us in the parking lot, would never meet their parents, but would observe their behaviors and see how they would talk to each other and how they would talk, just to themselves. Like, oh, I'm never going to get this. We would talk to them, how's your day going? How's things going at home? How things going at school? Some of them would say, well, I'm not smart enough. I'm failing math because I'm dumb and I'm stupid. And we would be like, hey, none of that over here. Listen,
Mhm.
you descend from kings and queens. You are royalty. You are smart. You may have to practice and study a little bit harder, but you could do anything. And do you need help? Let me help you. We were tutor kids. We would help them with their homework, because they would come with us before school while they're waiting for their bus, or some of them would be left at home because mom had to tuck out or dad had to tuck out really early to go to work. So we didn't really want them to be unattended. So they would come hang out and we would watch over them. That's what we need in our community. Where the elders at? Where are the mamas, the big mamas and the big daddies that is, hey, don't do that, watching over it. But now the community is so scared to say or do because they're afraid who not of the kids. Oh, what did you say to my child? What are you
Right.
trying to do? Like, why are you in my business? And then next thing you know it. But I say fear and faith cannot coexist.
There you go.
If you are called to mentor, if you are called to lead the youth, when you see something, you must say something. You
Yes.
must say something. We are covered, right? We are covered. So I don't take this calling lightly at all.
Mhm.
One of our funders that sowed a seed into our organization said, hey, before I give you the seed, I need you to increase your life insurance because they're going to try to take you out because you're talking about telling kids that they're worthy,
Mhm.
tell them that they can do anything, and then equipping them with the tools and the resources to take over so they
Right.
don't necessarily have to go to, because most of our children are not college bound. They're
Mhm.
not,
Yeah.
but they are talented and they're skilled and they're focused children. So he said, are you willing to die for this?
Mm.
And I was like, wait a minute. That seems kind of permanent. But then I had to go and get on my knees and say, God, this is what you have called me to do.
That's right.
I said yes to everything that comes along with it.
I'll take
So
the
if
call.
it cost me my life, it would be worth it because we have impacted so many families, so many kids, and we
My
just wanted to inspire one. And
Mhm.
so I just feel honored to be in this seat,
mm.
to be in this position.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
When it comes to uh, results,
Mhm.
now there's a yin and a yang because funding is the reason why you receive funding is because there's a problem.
Mhm.
What happens when you solve the problem? So that's, I believe, Dr. Lee, is what the eye opener, everything that you said about, and as you go back to, the yin and the yang of organizations that on paper say they're doing what you're doing,
Mhm.
but the results speak for themselves.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. When now with your organization and the results that you see, you have alumni that come back and say, hey, here, I don't know if your organization's, has that tenure to say, well, you have alumni after 10 years, 5 years to come back and say, oh, I'm now a mom, I'm now a dad, this is what I've done. And without any testimonials like that.
Yes, absolutely. So we're still a very young organization, but you know what? We have a track record of success. We're
Okay.
submitting our reports and we're getting the traction and the attention. And we're not, yesterday's events, the stir of what happened with the funding really shook us up, where we
Mhm.
immediately, as an executive leadership team, said, you know what, this is an eye opener. Now we cannot rely on if the government is going to do what they need to do. We need to get out here and do more groundwork and get talk to the corporations like Verizon, who is we thank God for their partnership.
Mhm.
JP Morgan Chase, those different organizations and different local organizations, so that we can, because no one's here to save us. The government is not here to save us.
No.
Okay, we have the tools and everything that we need to be self-sufficient. It's just that collaboration is going to be the key with that. We can collaborate because we listen. It's the money is in our community, right? We just got to do more conversations like this, which is why I'm so thankful for your platform because you're being a part of the solution, spreading the word. You
Wow.
know.
I'm happy that you said that you mentioned about the social responsibility and um, just when you're looking at parents, one of the things that I love about your program is that you're teaching parents. You're going to the root because you can, dust them off and send them back to where, right? You send them back to square one, send them back to home base, so to speak. So the parents absolutely do need a shift in the mindset as well, and it cascades down. So it's great that your organization is a root cause, right, and effect organization, not just band-aid solutions.
That's
So
right.
I'm looking forward to hearing much more of that. Before we close, Rob, do you want to hear a little bit more about South Africa?
Absolutely. You have more
Okay.
to share, Dr. Lee? I
Oh,
think
I
she's
think
up.
she.
Yeah.
Mm, okay, she's frozen for a moment. But this has been a great interaction. I love the interaction in the chat as well. If
Yes.
anyone has a favorite daily affirmation, share it with us.
Please do,
What
by all
did you say this
means.
morning? What was your affirmation that you spoke into yourself? You spoke life into yourself.
Yes. Share it in the chat. We will definitely post it on the screen as we conclude our session for today. And once again, there is the website for Dr. Lee's website, morehopenow.com. Please go over to her website and whatever you can do to support in their mission. I understand that they have some job openings as well. They offer online courses, as you were speaking about with the schooling program.
Yes.
So you can also enroll in that, get your kids enrolled in that. Dr. Lee's coming back on through a different device. Hold on one second.
Okay. So
Okay.
good.
Well,
All
I'm
right.
on the same device. It's just the enemy was peeking in and seeing all these chains were breaking. He likes to interfere with the technology,
That's right.
okay? Talk about setting
Mhm.
kids free, teaching them their worth. He's like, we gotta
You're like, no, we're going to
shut
stop
this
that.
down.
Mm. But yes,
Oh, you're coming through. You're coming through, Dr. Lee.
yes, yes,
That's
yes.
awesome.
Loud and clear.
Mhm.
Yes, Dr. Lee, we just want to thank you so much for being a part of the broadcast and sharing all of the wonderful works in which you are doing through your organization and throughout the community. So we want to extend you this opportunity to share any closing words that you would like to share.
Yes, I just encourage the audience to say those daily affirmations. Start your day with pouring into yourself so that that overflow can spill onto everyone else around you.
Mm,
Positivity, being kind, compassion is contagious. And with so much uncertainty in the world, we can't focus on the things that we don't have control over.
that's
But
right.
we can focus on how kind we are to ourselves and each other. So spread a little kindness. Be kind, be nice, and keep
Yes, spread the love, spread the love. That is the theme for the day, for the week, for the month, and for the year. Spread love. show love to your fellow brothers and sisters. It doesn't take anything away from you to do so. And Brother Rashid Jones says, regardless to whether today is good day or bad day, be grateful that you have today. It can always get better. Love it, my brother. Yes, well
Oh,
stated.
that's awesome. We love Brother Rashid. Listen, when I am feeling a little down, the person that picked you up, that's my brother Rashid.
All
He will
right.
get on there and talk. He like, listen, he'll tell me, you're worthy, you're worth it, you
I'm
are, amazing. I'm like, I need to hear that today. So
That's right.
if you ever need a dose of encouragement, Rob or Minister Allen, call him up. He got you.
All right. I'm gonna call you, brother. I'm gonna put you on speed dial.
This
Yes.
is great. We want everyone to just know that if you have a household that you're struggling, with arguments and little we call it backbiting,
Mm,
the snapping back and so forth. Pause and think about what the affirmations, what's the atmosphere, what's the culture of the home, if you will. There's different cultures within countries and so forth. There's also a culture that you cultivate in your home. Is it a culture of self-worth?
mm,
And we encourage you to go on the website. I'm sure there's countless resources on the Hope Enterprise with Dr. Lee and her team, the wonderful work they're doing there. The help is here, help is now. So we encourage you to just continue to support her and her entire team and the missions that they have to,
yes.
yes, if you have a seed to sow it in. You're still going to get your tax return nonetheless, but you also see, yeah, the results of your charity and the love that's sharing to somebody to lift them up. I like the fact that it's not only for the kids, it's also for the parents.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Sister Yvette, good to see you. Bless you, my sis. And yes, to everyone else that has joined us this evening, thank you so much for being a part of the program. Give my
Hmm.
sis there, Elevate with Vern. Vern, our number one cheerleader. Good to see you, sis. Blessings always.
Good evening, Vern.
Yes, yes. So good to
Yes, I
have.
love my sis Vern. Listen, I'm
Oh,
telling you,
yeah.
she's another one. You need some encouragement? I got her
You're
in speed
right.
dial. She was, listen, she says prayers that will you just feel the
Uh,
chains falling. I
that's
said,
right.
girl, where you learn how to pray that hard? I love it.
Mm, absolutely. Yes, Vern is the best, no doubt about it. And speaking of Vern,
Yes.
Christine, I'm thinking next week we need to talk about because there's a lot of layoffs going on, and I was not made aware until just the other day, and then got some word about a couple of people getting laid off. Like, yeah, something's going on. So we all, like when we first started out the broadcast back in July,
Mhm.
emphasis has been and will always be you need to be able to create another income stream for yourself and not be self-reliant on a job or something else. You need to be able to make provisions for yourself, whether that be a side business, a side hustle, or whatever the case may be. But you need to have something in place that can produce or provide you with another stream of income, just in
Mhm.
case income stream number one falls by the wayside. You'll always have something to fall back on. So, in saying that, I
Mhm.
believe we should do a program next week on how to go about creating another income stream for yourself. What do you think, Christine?
Absolutely. Let's help some people. And we can revisit the three main buckets that you need,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
The
Good.
three main
Good.
buckets of income that you need, big or small. So let's absolutely do that. Let's help some folks and get through.
Okay.
It's a season to get through the season.
It definitely is.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
So we have Sister Charnette. She has joined us. Blessings, my sis. Good to have you with us. And yes, reach one, teach one. Let's keep this movement growing. Absolutely, brother. Love it, love it, love it.
I love the enthusiasm.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes, very much so.
So next week on What's Holding You Back, you heard the topic. We are going to be speaking about how do you get started on actually getting another stream of income. We're talking about deposits in your account or in your
Mm,
pocket. So
that's
not virtual coins, okay? Something you can buy
yes,
some bread and cheese with, or
mm,
whatever you want to buy with. There's something that's tangible that you can put some food on the table. So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to next week. It's going to be so meaningful.
it would definitely will. So, on behalf of Dr. Tahira Lee and for Christine Allen from Clear Ambitions, my name is Rob McCray from the Business Building Network. And if you have not already done so, please be sure to subscribe to all of our YouTube channels. Christine Allen's YouTube channel is Clear Ambitions. My YouTube channel is Rob McCray Networking. And Dr. Lee, your YouTube channel is
It is Hope Enterprises
Hope
Inc.
Enterprises Inc. Yes, so
Yes.
please go over, visit, subscribe, and support in any way in which you can. We would love to hear from you. Your comments are always welcome. So we're going to be signing off for today, but we want to thank each and every one of you for joining us and be a part of the broadcast. So we look forward to seeing you next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, right here for another edition of What's Holding You Back.
What's
We'll
holding
see you
you
next week.
back? Holding you back from touching the sky. What's holding you back? You gotta fly like an eagle and go high. What's holding you back? Holding you back from touching the sky. Oh, holding you back. You finally gotta reach for the sky.